After being part of the Pilbara gold nugget hype in 2017, De Grey Mining continued its quest for more traditional gold deposits in the Pilbara. Late 2019, they discovered the first part of what turned out to be a huge mineralized gold system, named Hemi. This gold discovery could lead to the first open-pit gold mine in the Pilbara, in size only compared to the Kalgoorlie super pit. Managing Director Glenn Jardine, who joined the company earlier this year, is a senior mining executive with direct experience growing companies from early-stage exploration through to multi-operation entities. Our fund participated in a 5-cent financing round early 2019, and we're enjoying a good 2,800% return on this investment.
Well, that's a nice graph I saw there, Willem. Let's go straight to the presentation.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we talk.
Okay, De Grey Mining.
Welcome to this presentation of De Grey Mining's Hemi gold discovery in the Melina project in Western Australia. De Grey Mining is Australia's fastest growing gold company. This growth is on the back of its Hemi discovery within the Melina Basin in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. The exciting aspect of this discovery is that it's a completely new style of mineralisation for the Pilbara and has completely transformed people's thinking about the gold potential in the region. To summarise the company's strategy, at Hemi, we aim to demonstrate that Hemi on its own will be a Tier 1 gold production centre and to demonstrate that potential this financial year. As well as expanding our known mineralised footprint in Hemi, we want to look for Hemi lookalikes within the greater Hemi region and also across the entire tenement belt. At this point, our tenement scale is 150 kilometres in length, and we have known mineralised intrusions within the area, which we aim to follow up over the next 12 months. In addition, the company already has 2.2 million ounces of resources in shear-hosted mineralisation across the tenement package. These resources remain open, and the company also intends to increase this resource base over the next 12 months by the establishment of a separate exploration team. Onto the capital structure. The company has just under 1.3 billion shares on issue, and following a capital raising that we announced last week, we will raise an additional $100 million to go with the cash position at the end of August of 25 million, leaving the company with $125 million Australian as a cash balance during September to undertake its exploration program over the next 12 months. A major shareholder is DGO Gold, also another Australian listed company, with 15%. The company's board is very experienced for this stage of the project, having exploration and project development and operations experience at a senior level. I'll let you look at everybody's experience and backgrounds at your leisure, but suffice to say, we're very comfortable with the experience level and commercial acumen of the board of directors. Similarly with the technical team, the geology teams had a lot of experience in exploring and finding and defining million-ounce deposits within Australia and overseas, and also has had experience in developing, funding, and bringing into operation large-scale projects. The company is building its foundations for the future, particularly in regards to health, safety, environment, and community performance. In July, the company appointed a corporate manager for health, safety, risk, and environment, and over the next 3 months, we'll employ another safety advisor and environmental advisor in this area, and we will also employ a community relations and Indigenous relations manager reporting to the managing director. These aspects have been very well handled by the exploration team, and we'll look to extend the expertise in this area to ensure that our performance in this area meets our and the market's expectations. The Pilbara Craton is located in the north of Western Australia and has similar formations to the large-scale deposits that are located in the Yilgarn. However, up until the recent discovery of Hemi, the Pilbara could probably have been considered the poor relation to the Yilgarn. However, the discovery of Hemi has completely turned those perceptions on their head with the large-scale discovery at Hemi. The project is located just 60 kilometres to the south of Port Hedland. Port Hedland is a major mining centre servicing predominantly iron ore and lithium projects in the Pilbara region of Western Australia. It is very well serviced in terms of sealed highways, power, gas pipelines and water. This location of the project relative to first-class infrastructure is a really defining feature of the project, especially relative to other large-scale projects that have been developed in Western Australia in recent years. This slide shows the location of Hemi and the other existing regional deposits that are shear hosted, with the exception of Tawarana, which is also another intrusion style deposit, and the location of those deposits relative to infrastructure. We have two highways, the Great Northern Highway within 10 kilometres to the east of Hemi, the Northwest Coastal Highway approximately 20 kilometres to the north, two gas pipelines running past the project, and a major high voltage transmission line also located approximately 25 kilometres to the north of the project. You can also see the scale of the tenement package at 150 kilometres in length. This slide shows Hemi, which currently comprises the Aquila, Brolga, Crow and Falcon zones. We currently have one air core rig extending mineralisation at Falcon to the south and another air core rig operating at Scooby, Shaggy and Antwerp. Our game plan over the next 12 months is to expand Hemi and also to define a world-scale resource there and to demonstrate that there's additional upside at Scooby, Shaggy, Antwerp and Electronis. On a regional scale, outside of the Hemi and Greater Hemi areas, we have identified potential intrusion-style deposits with aeromagnetics and/or mapping away from that area along the structural corridor between Hemi and Tawarana. Over the next 12 months, we'll be establishing a separate exploration team to follow up those prospects. In addition to the intrusion style of mineralisation, the company also has 2.2 million ounces in shear-hosted deposits across the tenement package. Each of these deposits remains open, and we are yet to extend the resources in at those deposits, as we've thus far in the first half of this financial year been focusing on Hemi. However, in the next 12 months, with the establishment of a separate exploration team, we're going to extend and increase the resource base of these shear-hosted deposits. Just going into Hemi now. Hemi has expanded significantly over the last 12 months from simply being an aeromagnetic target with no drill holes into it to being a footprint of approximately 3 kilometres north-south and 2 kilometres east-west, hosting 4 major deposits: Aquila, Brolga, Crow and Falcon. We currently have 6 rigs operating around Hemi, 2 air core rigs, 2 RC rigs and 2 diamond rigs. I mentioned earlier that one of the air core rigs is looking at extending Hemi in the Falcon zone, but also Brolga to the northeast, Brolga south and Crow to the northwest. The RC drill rigs are following up mineralised intervals in air core at Falcon and also in the other deposits. And the diamond rigs are drilling out depth extensions in each of these zones. Moving on to the first of the zones, Aquila. It currently has a strike length of approximately 1.2 kilometres and has intersected thick, high-grade mineralisation starting near surface, just below transported cover. At this point in time, mineralisation is confirmed to 400 metres in depth and remains open. We're currently drilling extensions using a diamond drill rig here at Aquila. This is a cross-section through one of the sections at Aquila and also showing its relationship to Crow. You can see some of the intervals there near surface, 46 metres at just under 7 grams, 51 metres at just over 4 grams near surface, and mineralisation shown to extend at depth with 39 metres at 1.3 grams per tonne at approximately 400 metres below surface. Aquila remains open along strike and down dip. The Brolga deposit, this is the first discovery, a large-scale deposit, just showing you one of the sections through there, wide intervals and continuous grade, 76 metres at 1.5 grams. Crow, we've just started doing 80-metre section lines at Crow. Initially, this was considered a relatively large but potentially low-scale deposit. That perception's been turned on its head with the intersection in HERC 238 recently. It's 37 metres at 22 grams per tonne. We continue to do infill drilling at Crow, and we recently have been discovering good, thick, high-grade intervals in subvertical lodes, including the interval in HERC 238, which we announced approximately 3 weeks ago. The potential at Brolga, Aquila and Crow is for a large-scale open pit with low strip ratios, and we're looking at extending the mineralisation to the south of Brolga South and further in each of these deposits. Moving on to the new zone at Falcon, we recently announced the discovery of Falcon 2 weeks ago. This plan that you can see is at the northern end and includes such intervals as 58 metres at 2.1, 92 metres at 1.3. Again, large scale, near surface, good grade continuity mineralisation. These next slides show that sort of continuity. Mineralisation still remains open in HERC 254. Just further to the south, 92 metres at 1.3 in HERC 233D. And then another 300 metres to the south, we've got air core drilling ending in mineralisation that we need to follow up with RC and diamond drilling. But again, Crow is currently 2.4 kilometres long, open to the south, thick, good grade mineralisation and open at depth. In terms of project studies, we very successfully achieved high grade recoveries in oxidised mineralisation at Brolga. We also achieved high-grade recoveries by floating a gold-rich concentrate into a low-mass pool sulfide concentrate and then treating that through oxidation. The overall recovery of doing that, as well as treating the flotation tails on the primary mineralisation through CIL, was 96%. We aim to continue our metallurgical test work program. It'll be quite comprehensive and extensive, testing each of the zones at Hemi and also testing other hydrometallurgical processes, including Albion and Biox, on top of the very successful pressure oxidation test work that we recently conducted. Just in summary, the growth strategy for the company is to continue to expand Hemi over the next 12 months, but also do infill drilling there to define a tier 1 production potential there in this financial year. We're defining tier 1 as 300,000 ounces a year for a minimum of 10 years. We continue with our discovery program in the greater Hemi area and on a tenement-wide scale, looking to define resources at well below the industry average of $20 an ounce. We are already building our organisational capability to allow us to continue with that exploration spend and to move into project studies and also further growth after that. And we also look to be able to demonstrate on a tenement-wide scale the potential for new intrusion-scale discoveries.
Well, thank you for this presentation. And I see my good friend Andy in the middle of the night in Australia. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, 3 a.m. over here.
Jesus, man. Sorry for this. You're in Perth now?
Yes.
So, well, we'll keep it short and simple. But we met a few years back when I made my first trip to Australia to look into the gold nugget discoveries in the Pilbara. And on my first night in Perth, I think we had dinner. You still remember that?
Yes, I think it was Japanese, actually.
And since then, we kept in touch since then. We always invested in the new financing rounds of De Grey Mining. We're always intrigued by your large land holdings. And it has been an amazing year for you guys, hasn't it?
It's been a startling year, actually, with the Hemi discovery has turned everything on the head. We are, I suppose, rewriting history in the Pilbara when it comes to gold at the moment.
How significant is this discovery, and why is it changing everything for the Pilbara?
Firstly, it's a new style of mineralisation. It's a little bit similar to our original Taurana deposit, being hosted in intrusion. They are just on a different scale to our previous deposits. We're getting mineralisation that Brolga's going to end up being a pit where the floor of at least one lift will be 300 metres wide by 600 metres wide, fully mineralised across the whole floor of the pit. It's just a massive discovery. We continue to find more. The Falcon discovery is only literally 4 weeks old, 2.5 kilometres, and it's only 500 metres from Brolga. So we're just learning what's out there. We have 4 other major intrusion targets near Hemi, within about 10 kilometres, and then we have a multitude of other targets from our magnetics beyond that, within our 150 kilometre long tenement package.
So you must have a lot of new friends recently.
I've never had so many happy shareholders ring me to say thank you.
I want to show the graph of what happened to the Grey Mining year to date. You're up over 2,000%. You're the largest position into our fund. And if we look at the 5-year chart, you're up over 7,000%. And to bring things in perspective, you see on the left side, you see the current boundaries of the discovery so far, but it's still open on all sides. And if you look at the right side of this picture, that's the super pit, the Kalgoorlie super pit. And if you show your recent discovery, this could be the largest open pit mine of Australia in a few decades.
Look, it's looking pretty positive at that respect. It's the new Falcon thing. We don't even know how long that is yet at the moment. So, look, we are looking at a large open pit resource. The aim is to find that resource by June 21, and then start working on economic studies, etc. beyond that.
But if you look at previous results along the length of the shear, this mineralization could extend for maybe 5, 10 or 15 miles or kilometers.
Look, we certainly have a number of large intrusion targets, within kilometres of Hemi alone. So, look, we think we're in a gold camp. Hemi is the first one. We'll see what the others come as we drill more. We've got, as Glenn was saying, we have 6 drill rigs working on it at the moment. Probably bring in more drill rigs as time moves on. It's been a fabulous 6-12 months, really.
But can the company keep up with the growth of the project? You need many more geologists, many more drillers.
Yeah, look, the COVID at the moment is putting a bit of a hindrance on getting people into our state. Our state border is closed with the rest of Australia to maintain a pretty low COVID response. So there is a bit of limitation on people, drillers more than drill rigs. It's really just maintaining a strong crew. one of our probably important things and relationships we've built over the last 3 years is a number of drilling companies. We are one of their high priority clients. So to date, we've been getting what we want with drill rigs and people. So a lot of people in Australia want to work for De Grey, and the fact that Hemi is new is exciting. It will look good on somebody's CV down the track.
And how do the major producers, the gold producers in Australia, react on your project?
Look, there's been a lot of interest throughout Australia and across the world from not just large companies, but also the big funds. So, yeah, they're probably analysing us as we talk. So I don't really know what they think, other than obviously we've fielded quite a few phone calls.
Yeah, they're also visiting the projects, or not yet?
Sorry, what was that one again?
Have they been visiting the project themselves with their geologists?
No, there's been no site visits. It's a bit difficult with COVID. We've been trying to keep everything quite tight. We don't allow visitors, just to maintain a fairly isolated camp so nobody's at risk.
Okay, thank you, Andy. I wish you a good night.
Okay,
Good night.
Thank you, Willem.
Andy Beckwith, technical director of De Grey Mining.